Did you know that right now, thousands of K-pop fans across America are literally panic buying albums like the world is ending? We're talking about fans dropping hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in a single shopping spree, all because of one deadline that's got the entire fandom in absolute chaos. But what happened next shocked even the biggest labels in South Korea. Former President Trump just declared economic war on K-pop culture itself, slapping a brutal 25% tariff on every single South Korean import starting August 1st. That $25 New Jeans album you've been eyeing? Try $31.25 plus shipping. Your Stray Kids limited edition box set? Add another quarter to every dollar. TikTok is exploding with last haul before the tariff apocalypse videos. One stan tweeted a photo of 47 albums with the caption, "My rent money went to Hybe, but at least I beat the tariffs." The desperation is real, and it's spreading faster than any comeback announcement ever could. But here's where this gets absolutely insane. The numbers behind this chaos are way more shocking than anyone expected. South Korea exported over $292 million worth of physical K-pop albums to the United States last year alone. That's not counting the billions in merchandise and beauty products about to get hit with the same 25% penalty. K-pop retailers were already dealing with a 10% tariff that's been quietly eating into their profits for months. Now they're facing a combined 35% increase in costs, and most of these small businesses are run by fans who started selling albums out of pure love for the culture. Yet here's the twisted part. While fans are panicking, major K-pop companies like Hybe, SM, and JYP are actually hitting 52-week highs as investors bet on them being tariff-proof, thanks to their digital revenue streams. The rich get richer while the people who actually built this culture get priced out of participating in it. Still, what's happening behind the scenes in Seoul is even more brutal than the fan meltdowns. Entertainment executives are facing an impossible choice that could destroy everything they've built. They can either absorb the 25% cost increase and watch their profit margins disappear completely, or pass those costs onto fans and risk killing the passionate collector culture that makes K-pop so addictive. One anonymous executive reportedly said the tariff could turn K-pop into a luxury hobby instead of a cultural movement. Imagine photocard trading becoming as expensive as collecting vintage baseball cards. But Trump's strategy goes way deeper than just raising prices on your album collection. This tariff war is actually a calculated attack on South Korea's soft power influence in America, and K-pop just happens to be collateral damage. Korean culture has been quietly dominating American youth for the past decade. By targeting the most visible aspects of Korean culture, Trump is essentially using fans as pawns in a much bigger geopolitical game. However, the fan reaction has moved way beyond panic buying into full conspiracy theory territory, and honestly, some of their theories aren't that far-fetched. Fan accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers are posting detailed threads about how this tariff specifically targets the things that make K-pop culture work. Physical albums aren't just music, they're social currency. Trading photo cards builds friendships. By making these cultural artifacts too expensive for regular fans, the tariff effectively kills the grassroots culture that made K-pop a global phenomenon. International fans are organizing boycotts and offering to bulk buy albums and ship them to American stans at cost. K-pop Twitter has turned into an underground railroad for album trading. Some politically minded fans are organizing voter registration drives with the explicit goal of supporting candidates who oppose cultural tariffs. These are the same people who can crash websites with pre-order traffic. Now they're turning that energy toward actual political change. Yet what's really happening in those secret Washington meetings might completely change the game. South Korean Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok flew to Washington for emergency talks with U.S. Treasury officials, and sources say the conversations were way more intense than anyone publicly admitted. The South Korean government apparently came prepared with a $25 billion economic package designed to create American jobs in exchange for exempting cultural products from the tariff. It's essentially a cultural diplomacy bailout plan that would protect fans while boosting the American economy. But the August 1st deadline isn't negotiable. The 90-day review period protecting K-pop imports is ending whether these negotiations succeed or not. Both sides are basically playing chicken with an entire cultural industry hanging in the balance. Trade experts say this could set a precedent for how cultural products get treated in future international disputes. However, there's one massive plot twist that nobody saw coming, and it might actually save everything. While fans were panic buying and labels were freaking out, something interesting happened that reveals the real power dynamics at play. These companies have been quietly building tariff-proof revenue streams for years. Digital streaming revenue, concert touring income, brand partnerships, all of that stays completely unaffected by import taxes. Some analysts suggest the tariff might accidentally help K-pop companies by forcing them to focus more on digital and experiential aspects of fandom that generate better profit margins. The real losers aren't the big entertainment companies. They'll adapt and probably end up more profitable. The real losers are the small businesses and local K-pop stores that build communities around physical collecting culture. Those businesses don't have the resources to pivot to digital strategies. So where does this leave everyone as we approach the August 1st deadline? The negotiations are ongoing, the panic buying continues, and the entire K-pop industry is holding its breath. Finance Minister Choi has another meeting scheduled on July 31st, literally the day before the tariff kicks in. Talk about cutting it close. What we do know is that this moment represents a turning point for how American fans engage with Korean culture. Whether prices stay the same or double overnight, the fandom will never go back to taking easy access to K-pop content for granted. The community networks being built around mutual aid might actually strengthen fan culture in ways that cheap albums never could. Thanks for watching K-Sweeper, and remember to like and subscribe because we'll be covering every update as this story develops. Will the negotiations save your album collection, or are we about to witness the end of affordable K-pop culture in America? The next 48 hours will literally determine the future of how an entire generation experiences their favorite music. Stay tuned because this cliffhanger is far from over.